Welcome to Fight Hard, Fight Clean. Today's video is going to be different. We're not talking about fighters or fights. We are talking about streaming services. And no, I'm not talking about stuff like Stream East. We're not talking about that. I know a lot of the people in my stream for the Andrew Tate versus Chase Demore live stream would have loved that. I seen one, but Rumble instantly took it down. I can't show the fight. But we're not talking about that. We are talking about DAZN. I hope DAZN doesn't hate me for this, because I would love a job at DAZN working those events, but they might get overshadowed, because think about all the places you can watch fights now. Netflix is having super fights and super events at base subscriptions of $7.99 without any pay-per-view. Paramount Plus for $8.99 or $10.99, however much the base subscription is, you can start watching UFC events, Zuffa boxing events with no pay-per-view. But then you go over to DAZN, you have to pay $29.99 for a base subscription and then pay the pay-per-view amount for the fight you want. What does this mean for DAZN and boxing? If Netflix and Paramount Plus can find a way to maybe pay their fighters more than DAZN, then DAZN could be in some big trouble, because I believe fighters can be signed to DAZN, and that's why there was almost some trouble with Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua primarily fought on DAZN. But then you start to see fights like Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Then you start to wonder, is this a slippery slope? Are fighters from DAZN gonna start migrating over to Netflix for the opportunity to get more eyes on them? Because especially smaller fighters, some of them are more concerned about getting more viewership and attention than getting the paycheck. Because more viewership, the more eyes on you, means more opportunities for paychecks. And regardless of the fight, I guarantee you, if you wanted to watch a boxing match, you would much rather pay $7.99 for a base subscription on Netflix than $30 a month alongside a $60, $70, or $80 pay-per-view amount. And again, not to mention, Zuffa boxing's on the rise. There's rumors of Usyk going to Zuffa boxing. Conor Benn has a one-fight deal with Zuffa. They've got Jai Opetaia, Callum Walsh. They're starting to build a good roster here. And for, again, $10.99 a month to watch them fight versus paying $30 a month alongside $80 pay-per-views to watch them fight, I think everybody in this room, I'm the only one here, I think everybody watching would again rather pay the $10.99 a month than the $30 plus the $80. And yes, DAZN has the feature where if you pay the $45, then you get the 7-day free trial, but still, you're paying $50 for an event. If DAZN is gonna go under and they're gonna have to cave and lower their prices, I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, because DAZN have established themselves as the global home of boxing. Even though Netflix is getting the Tyson Fury fights and the Manny Pacquiao fights and the Floyd Mayweather fights and the Jake Paul fights, DAZN is still getting some good events. They've got Deontay Wilder versus Derek Chisora in April, Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois happening. They are still throwing punches, essentially, in terms of them lowering their base subscription to maybe $19.99. It's still going to be a while, because they are still established in the boxing world and they're not going anywhere. Hell, they have a partnership with The Ring magazine, which was and I think still is one of the biggest boxing organizations or news sources out there. Something else they could do is get rid of pay-per-views. I don't think they would, because again, pay-per-views are a great way to see how well a fight did. For example, a fight like Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, you get a statistic like this amount of people were willing to pay this amount to watch this fight, giving us this number. That's where the success portion comes in. You can say like, hey, this event did 1.2 million in pay-per-view sales, but then with a fight like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, you can say, hey, you can make the money, we had more eyes on our show. So then it's up to DAZN to determine, do they want the money, the pay-per-view sales, or do they want the eyes? If they want to still keep the money involved, one of the two is going to have to change. They either have to drop the pay-per-view or drop the base subscription price. DAZN streams other sports, like I think they have PFL, they have football, rugby, like tennis. They have all these sports. So when you pay that $30, you're paying for multiple sports, but that's when you can get into maybe getting a package for only boxing. And I think they already do that for like $45 a month. But I'm saying, like, if they wanted to do, like, for a base subscription, you want to watch all sports, pay the $30 a month. If you just want to watch combat sports, or if you just want to watch boxing, give us $7.99 a month or $5.99 a month, then you pay the pay-per-views. I think that's perfectly fair. $5 a month to go back and watch any fight you want, alongside paying the pay-per-view, $80 pay-per-view. I think that is significantly more fair. $30 is not a small amount of money. $30, and then alongside pay-per-view cards that are still being charged for like $90. A lot of those pay-per-view cards don't care that viewers are already paying $30 for a base subscription. So $4.99 a month, then a pay-per-view, I think that's fair, and that gets them in the same pool of Netflix and Paramount Plus, where they could still be heavy hitters. At the end of the day, they could do nothing and they'd still probably be fine, because they know that they have the mega fights on there. They just had Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. People are going to pay to watch a fight like that. And even if it's $30 a month plus $120, experts are going to want to pay to see that fight, because it's a super fight. It's a fight that people want to know what happens when these two finally clash. But there's a new wave of boxing. Netflix has got their surfboard. Paramount Plus has got their surfboard. DAZN is going to have to build their own surfboard. So, do you think DAZN will ever change their prices for their base subscription or their fight pay-per-views? Let me know in the comments down below. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a bunch. And as always, my friends, fight hard, fight clean, and I'll see you soon.